but most importantly, you won't run into someone putting a stop to your momentum if you go about things the wrong way. And I can't go back, I can't help but go back to this softly, softly, the tender touch at the bottom of the advice. Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Okay, hi again. I am Kristen, and I'm a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of Capricorn energy in terms of your career throughout the month of April. I begin with the astrology, and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and you would like to become a personal client, you can join the client circle. That link can be found here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And last but not least, you guys know I am a global citizen and I love connecting with all of you on a worldly and global level. So let me know where you're listening from in the comments, if you already haven't. And we can all connect and be a strong collective. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get into this. Okay, so Capricorn. We are in April, and I am going to begin with the reflections of March for your career and finances. So March actually was very serendipitous nearing the end for most of you. So if you are like, okay, different tiers, right? So if you are of the group of Capricorns who have been going through a lot of career transformations, meaning you're going from a job into entrepreneurship, which many of you are doing, some of you found yourself actually being able to acquire a proper position or finally being able to get the job that you wanted. Or if you were out of a job, March was very good to you. The end of March in specific was very good to you. For those of you who are transitioning from jobs into entrepreneurship, again, the end of March was very good to you. And for those of you who you didn't make a big shift or you didn't make a big change, business again started to look more stable. So whether it was you implementing the proper services that worked in alignment for you, clarifying your schedule, could also have been an increase in clientele, but in general, business and career or finances started to feel more like you had them under your control in March, whether it was that they increased or whether it was just that your structure stabilized to a point where you're able to finally reach your goals. So that was very good. I would say in the beginning of March, things were a little shadowy when it came to career and finances. So kind of this feeling, especially for those of you who are going through a big change, being a little confused about where to go, what to do, how you were even going to achieve those goals, or how this was even going to plan out or happen, or pan out and happen. Others of you dealing with legal matters and legal issues as well. This was a big conversation that definitely took place in February, and then it's led itself over into March. But by the end of March, and it worried you in the beginning, but by the end of March, you started to become more hopeful and see that on the other side, you could possibly come out of this in a very positive light. And again, when it comes to the things that were challenging you in the beginning of the month were mainly about self-doubt, a shadowy kind of energy, what can be achieved, what can't be achieved, is anything truly possible in terms of you being able to reach these goals that you deeply desire. The end of March came in as a beautiful bright light, especially as we looked at the third week and said, actually, it's possible, and here's how. And even if you didn't actually gain the result that you wanted in that time, the pathway became clear, and you know the path that you're taking or the steps that you're taking. And this is the kind of energy that's bringing you into April, which feels really good. You're feeling optimistic. Your pathway is very clear. You know where it is that you want to go, and you can see it happening. The downside, or I guess the yin to the yang, is the fact that it hasn't happened yet. So you guys can be having these perspectives about this path that you want to take, but it is a big shift. especially for you guys who are changing. For you guys who are staying about the same, it's more like the way that you're doing things is going through a big change. And you know the plans that you want to implement, but they take time. And through this time taking that's going on, you're nervous about certain things not panning out the way that you expected them to. Contracts, documents, again, court hearings, court situations. It's like, can this actually work out the way I want it to? I can see the path clearly, but there are so many things that need to happen in order to create this structure out of stone, basically, and instead of sand. Okay, so from there we're going to go into the general overview of the energy of April. So there are a lot of big changes happening in April. There's the huge eclipse that's happening the second week of April, and I'll go into that. But one of the biggest things is you're focused on this new life that you want to create for yourself. You're focused on where it is that you want to go, and not repeating patterns of the past when it comes to career and finances. So again, many of you are taking huge shifts from changing jobs to going from having a traditional position into entrepreneurship. So all of these things are shifting and changing for you. Others of you are stabilizing yourselves into new work environments. And again, when it comes to your finances overall, you're redefining what your financial life looks like for you. And it's all about being able to have comfort. So for some of you, you could be taking financial, I don't want to say loss, but it's more like making less in order to achieve more, and your sense of comfort, right? So could be leaving a higher paying position to actually do something that you're going to make less money with, but you're structuring your life around it so that it can be practical. So an example of this is, leaving a high paying job and going into starting a small business, and you don't plan to make a lot of money with this small business, but with this small business you're shaping your life around it. So let's say you're moving, you're opening a small shop, and you're going to move, and you're going to simplify and minimalize your life around this new shop that you're creating. And really you're creating a scenario where you're living a wealthier life. The wealthier life doesn't necessarily mean the life that you're making the most money in, but it's wealthy in a multitude of ways. And this can be a shift that some of you are going through. Others of you, it's actually about creating more actual wealth. So making more money with the businesses that you have or the job that you're having, and then structuring your new self around the increase in finances. But overall, it's this fourth house energy about your home and family and what brings you wealth of comfort. What is it that will make you feel the most complete and happy with your life on a multitude of levels? Wealth in terms of your joy and your happiness, and then how it reflects back in terms of your career. So many of you are no longer interested in doing anything that does not serve your own peace of mind. And that's where you're leaving jobs, starting jobs, wanting more money because it'll make you feel content, or willing to take a cut because you're creating a wealthier life on the outside. Again, going through or downsizing in terms of your home, or upsizing in terms of your home. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's all about how is it that you can be wealthier in the way that you feel about your day-to-day life. And your career is a reflection of that. Wanting to not be in something that feels opposing. You don't want to be in the kind of career where you guys are really putting to bed the whole hard work archetype, right? Where it's, you don't want to do anything that makes you feel strained or takes away from your wealth of joy. You want to be in a position where your wealth of, again, your home and comfort is your major priority, and you'll make whatever shift it is that you need to make in order to align with that energy. And that's kind of what's going on in April when it comes to career and finances. So from here, we'll go into week 1. We start the month with the Mercury retrograde in Aries, and also Venus entering Aries. So this is giving you a lot of kick, fire, momentum, passion. You guys really want to push in terms of your career dynamics. But again, this retrograde, so your values and your relationship with your money in specific is of priority when Venus enters Aries. You're saying to yourself, okay, again, how is it that my comforts my wealth in what is around me, and especially again where you live, your home, your comforts. I keep saying the same thing, but I really want you guys to understand it. This is the priority, and you're thinking this can see you guys redecorating, changing out your office, figuring out where it is that you want to work. Do you want to get a separate place for your work, for those of you guys who may work from home? Different things like that. You're restructuring how your career looks, and again, how it aligns with your comfort level. But this is also happening during a Mercury retrograde. So where you have this momentum to, let's say you want to expand on your business and open a bigger office, you have this momentum to do so, but the retrograde makes it so that it slows you down. So normally where you would have probably pulled the trigger on something that maybe you would have regretted later, right? Because you tend to be really ambitious, especially during Aries season. The retrograde has you saying, okay, this is not, so this lease isn't as easy to sign, or if you want to decorate your home office, you really have to stop and think about what is more practical instead of what looked good on paper in the past, or what represented some form of status, or what is a bit of a dreamy ideology. The retrograde in combination with the Venus is making it so that yes, you're passionate about again, your wealth of comfort when it comes to your career and your finances, but you're having to be very deliberate about it. And so this deliberate approach to things is what you find going on when we first step into April. And especially when it comes to money, the priority and the focus is on the finances in specific, and how it adds again to what it is that you need in terms of your home and your comforts. And so that's why in week one, this shift kind of happens, and it's not to say that it's going to put you in a negative headspace, but it does put you in a headspace that is very kind of critical and self-oriented. You guys are very focused on yourselves when you step into April and what it is that you need to be doing in order to create the life that you want. We step into week two with the solar eclipse, right? So this energy that you moved into the week with, or moved into the month with, of okay, this is what it is that I want to see, and I have to really go over the fine print. We're looking at week two where that becomes amplified because of the solar eclipse. So this big bright burst of energy finds you. Again, this Aries energy is really good to you, and you're feeling passionate and you're feeling intense in week two. And all of these fresh new ideas are finding you in terms of what it is that you want to do, how it is that you want it to pan out, your plans for the next 6 months, where it is that you want to see yourself financially. You have these strong goals that kind of pop up out of nowhere. A lot of great downloads happen for you this month in terms of money and career, and great ideas are kind of just flowing to you. And this happens especially during week two. But again, we're moving through this retrograde, so you have these big, great ideas, but then the retrograde makes it so that you're really focused on practicalizing them. So it's like, okay, I have this dream of, you know, I'm going to take my business to Bali, and I'm going to open an office that is overlooking the ocean for X, Y, and Z reason. But then it's also, okay, how do I practically make that happen? What resistance will I run into in the same time? So it's good to use this time period where, you know, this fresh energy, this run really, really fast, but also having to slow down, as frustrating as it'll feel. Just don't get discouraged in terms of negative thinking, and understanding that it's all about that Capricorn energy, where it's like being able to see the reality of something and also see the dream of it at the same time, which isn't bad. Okay. Another thing that finds you during week two is anger and frustration. So, and it kind of comes from this passionate space. So you are on fire, you have a me first kind of attitude, you're going to get what it is that you want by any means necessary, you don't want to repeat the past, you're tired of feeling uncomfortable. That's a big thing for you guys. You're tired of being tired. You're tired of feeling exhausted. And so you have all this fight, and you're kind of angry and you're frustrated about things not working the way that you want them to, or more like it's not that things are working against you, it's more like the time that things are taking. So you're having to really invest in what it is that you want. And for many of you, you're realizing that where you're sitting right now is not where it is that you want to be like 6 months from now. And so it creates this kind of fire, unapologetic, powerhouse kind of energy moving through you as all of this fresh movement is happening in terms of your career during the second week. I would say do a lot of journaling for sure. This is my journal. But do a lot of journaling for sure during week 2. We're going to do it here with the Healing Circle on YouTube. But I would say to do a lot of things tied to the meditation for that eclipse, because it's a new moon and it's also the solar eclipse, and you're going to get so many downloads about who it is that you want to be. But not just your character, because you guys have done a lot in terms of character. It's more like the life that you're living. So think about it this way. Pluto has made it so that you had to change the one, right? Now you're in a space where, because Aquarius is in your second house and because of what's going on, you're slowly creating the life externally outside of just the self. So you have become, and now your focus is, okay, I want to be surrounded by who it is that I have become. So it's more like wanting to see the inside reflected on the outside. I want to have the kind of work that aligns with who it is that I truly am. I want to see those things reflected around me. I want to see the artwork reflected around me. Every single thing in your life that you are constantly surrounded by, you're being very meticulous and very passionate about. And this energy is going to feel very, very good, but it's also going to kind of piss you off. And it's going to frustrate you because of what you haven't had. Again, wanting it really, really quickly, feeling tired because of the amount of energy that you've had to put in. And so it's a lot of these mixed emotions because of this very good energy, basically. So it's important to try to balance that during week 2. So then we go into week 3. The sun enters Taurus, and this is a really good time for money for you guys. There are a lot of surprises that can take place during this week. Again, Taurus is your 5th house, so Taurus is a pleasurable space for you. It's a good energy. The first half of the month is a lot of emotional intensity, right? So a lot of fresh, bright energy with the Aries, but then also this kind of like frustration, exhaustion, anger kind of energy. And when we enter Taurus, you're going to feel a lot more relaxed, and the things that you have been investing in are going to feel more stable by the time the month comes to a close, which is very good in that respect. And so it brings about this kind of energy during week 3 where this shift happens into Taurus and you're starting to feel more relaxed. And so as you feel more relaxed after all the energy that you kind of put out, there are possible surprises when it comes to your finances, because there's a lot of karma happening during that 3rd week because of the various placements that are there. And so if you are karmically, this could be something very good where random windfall or a big client or again, a callback that you were waiting for, something contractually that works in your favor during that first week of Taurus energy. And it kind of, bringing you like a restful kind of energy, it lightens the load of the intensity that you've been feeling up until that point. Everything is a big thing in terms of the week 3 as well, is this kind of this rebirth energy. You're feeling more calm, you're feeling more relaxed, especially when it comes to your money. You're feeling a lot more on top of yourself financially during week 3. You're feeling more empowered, which is big for you guys as Capricorn placements, because your financial empowerment brings you a lot of peace of mind. You guys tend to feel very uncomfortable and can also deal with depression. A lot of things traumatize you or awaken wounds tied to your trauma when you don't have financial comfort. And so the good thing is you're in a space during week 3 where that comfort level is there. You're feeling on top of things in terms of work. You're feeling on top of things when it comes to your ideas and the projections that you put out working in your favor, especially for those of you guys who are entrepreneurs or did that transition, or again, you're in a new position, but you're feeling really stable. You're feeling good. You're feeling empowered, and you're feeling in charge, which is a great energy for you during that week. The only thing that can be opposing you during week 3 is, again, other people's opinions, Because you're feeling so empowered and you're feeling so intense, it's, I'm going to do whatever it is that I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and you're packing a punch, but you're packing a punch in a relaxed manner. It comes from a lot of confidence during week 3, and that can challenge other people around you trying to tell you what you can and cannot do. And so that's kind of that in terms of that energy. Okay, so week 4 is the full moon in Scorpio. And this is also the week that Mercury goes direct in Aries, Venus enters Taurus, and Mars enters Aries. Okay, so what does this look like for you? A lot of shifts during week 4, a lot. So a lot of the energy that you put out during the first half of the month was about, I am going to change this. And I keep, these aggressive, it's a lot of fire. And the good thing is throughout the month of April, even though it's a lot of push and it's a lot of fire, and intensity from you, it's actually healing you at the same time. A lot of birth through fire energy happening for you during April, which is great. You're getting more relaxed during week 3, and then week 4 comes in with a whole lot of shifts. This full moon in Scorpio in your 11th house is big, especially when it comes to your career. So you're getting this renewal because of endings in terms of your clients. So for some of you, you can be shifting clientele, and you kind of felt this energy going on throughout April. Which clients serve you, which ones don't, which customers serve, which ones don't, how to be better to your clientele, how to be better to your customers. And then again, it's for those of you who have gone through a job shift. You're going through this end of the old position that you used to have, the old identity, social identity that you used to have, and you're giving birth to this new social identity, and it's one that's more empowered and in alignment with your career. You're going to feel on top of things with your career by the end of the month. And this 4th week is this feeling of, okay, that's done now. I did what it is that I needed to do. I'm putting to end the old me in that sense. And the eclipse was was the catalyst to this, because the eclipse was showing you who it is that you could be and who it is that you should be and how you should operate. And the full moon in Scorpio comes in and says, okay, and now let's put to bed this old social identity, or how things used to operate, or how people used to know you in your old networks. And then as we have Mercury going direct in Aries, so this retrograde, so this slow down kind of energy removes itself, and you're able to close those doors more organically. You're able to put, and that's a part of why the endings happen more seamlessly, because that slow down energy was showing you things that in the past you didn't necessarily want to see. And here we are in week 4, and with everything moving more seamlessly, the Mercury going direct in Aries is saying, okay, I can actually create the results that I saw that I needed to create in the first half of the month, that were slowly turning, or I had to only look at the red tape. The 4th week is going to bring about this kind of lighthearted feeling where it's saying, okay, I can see how this is going to pan out. I can see how I can actually take action steps now to put an end to the old social identity. And this also is in alignment with Venus in Taurus, and then Mars going into Aries. So these two are opposing with one another, because, Venus is at home in Taurus. She's happy there, and Mars is at home in Aries. So this is the ultimate kind of, some would say, like the divine masculine and divine feminine combination with these two. So in terms of things working together seamlessly in work, this is good for the entire collective, because Mars is where it likes to be, which is in powerhouse Aries. Obviously, we have to be on top of ourselves, not to step on other people or overdo things when it comes to how we're going to get our results done. And then we have Venus in Taurus, who is saying, okay, I worked hard when I was in Aries. I put in the fight during the day in order to relax at night. And I can now bring in this new abundance. So I can dress better, I can align more with my new social identity, I can align more with my new position, my new identity as this entrepreneur, my new business, my new clientele, and I have the means to bring myself the luxuries that I desire in alignment with those things. So again, could be buying new notebooks, it could be redecorating the office, it could be, again, creating new things, especially for you guys and entrepreneurs, creating new products or new visions around your products and your business, and going through this shift in terms of how it looks and how it operates. And you're having the means because you're putting in the fight when it comes to Aries energy, and then you're reaping what you've sown when it comes to the Venus energy. The biggest thing here is the balance, like I said, of putting, fighting a little bit too hard and then overindulging a little bit too much. But overall, it's in a happy place in terms of these transits. The biggest thing is the full moon in Scorpio, as I said, because it's a deep moon, and it's always a deep moon. It's always an intense moon. And for you guys, it's about your old identity. And the good thing is with this momentum, you have the fourth week is going to see you being able to create practical results to put forward, or I guess put effort and energy and tangible results toward the new identity that you have, all the while still going through the process of closing it out. So, closing this client book, but in the same breath, or even in the same day, doing the various things that align with the new one. Putting to bed this old LinkedIn profile, and I'm actually creating a better one here. And this kind of back and forth that's playing out. And it's not to say that the moon is going to feel easy, because with every dark there is a light, and with every light there is a dark. So it is an emotional moon. It is a deep moon, and you guys can find yourselves frustrated with who you've been in the past. You can also be dealing with insecurities and shame. Kind of this shadowy, scorpionic energy. So things that wounded you in the past, the ways you've been disappointed in yourself because of how you showed up before, different frustrations around your high level of tolerance. And again, this kind of a little insecurity tied to who it is that you are now versus who it is that you once were, or frustrations tied to having to put to bed the old in order to create the new. So that's some of the energy I would say that is going on for the month. I feel like April is a very progressive month when it comes to career, for sure. And I think that focusing on the career this month can actually really work in your favor in terms of staying on top of things emotionally, because when you're talking about like other things like again, moving or court cases, things that are kind of out of your control, focusing in on the career is going to make you feel more in control and be a great space for you to find your confidence this month. That's about it that I have for this, and we are going to get into the reading now. Hello, Capricorn. Here we are looking at career, and what do we have going on? So we've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is a good omen in terms of career. We've got Page of Wands, but we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting how we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse sitting right underneath the Eight of Pentacles upright, and on top of that is the Page of Wands. This feels like fresh, fiery energy. I like to see fire in a fire season, for sure. And it's kind of showing this, I'm sorry to say this, but a bit of an immature kind of fly by the wayside, kind of seat of your pants, whatever that phrase goes, but it's a lot of passion, power, again, nothing that really is kind of taking me back in terms of this feeling of I'm going to get whatever it is that I want, and I'm going to do what it is that I want to do, and I'm going to do it with full intensity, and I'm just going to go with it. Faith, writing out on faith, and kind of just action-oriented kind of energy. And this is backed up here by the Eight of Pentacles. So we've got this, I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to go. It's like fresh, bright, go energy, backed up by this more stable, tangible, I am putting together the stones to build this wall piece by piece, but yet and still it is a lot of fast-paced, impulsive kind of energy, but it's backed up by substance, and I like that. It's like that the way in which things are not being subjected to patience, right? It's like I'm going to take this turn and I'm going to make this step and I'm going to do it really quickly. But it's also because I have all of these other plans and ideas and backings, things that have substance to them besides behind all this impulsive behavior. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which I think is interesting. It goes back to this feeling of, are you taking the right path? Are you actually walking the right journey? And is this direction that you're going in, or these directions that you're going in, are they actually working in your favor? We have love call here, and then we also have the Phoenix. So this brings me back to this space of you being reborn in so many ways. I love the fact that we have the Page of Wands here with the Phoenix. Again, more fire energy. There's a lot of passion here. Birth through fire, like I keep saying with all the readings, is birth through fire energy. And it's like we are moving forward and willing to change, or like this progressive change, this cardinal movement. And then we look here at love call. So more than anything, that lets me know that you're getting what it is that you desire in terms of your connections and your social dynamics. More for you guys who have clients and customers and people who want to work with you, they're feeling connected to you. There's a lot of movement going on. There's a lot of progression going on when it comes to things happening. Like, I know that I've been stuttering a bit through the videos, but a part of the thing that is going through me right now is like I'm feeling like super, yeah, it's almost like I'm running really, really, really fast into the middle of nowhere, you know, and I'm like a little winded in that sense. That's the energy that it feels like. A lot of movement, a lot of conversations, new beginnings. It's just good. This energy feels really, really good. It feels really bright. In your shadow, we've got the Four of Swords, and this is accompanied with the Queen of Swords and the Six of Wands underneath there. So, nope, that's seven. Okay, Seven of Wands. I almost didn't count. And so we have the Seven of Wands sitting underneath that. So it's interesting. It's like you have all this movement and this fresh, bright energy. Things are going really quickly, fast, 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 fast. And yet, and still, you're worried about slow movement. You're worried about being stuck. You don't want to go back to a space of stagnancy, but you're also afraid of things not being clear and concise. And we go back to the Seven of Wands energy. It's like, this is it's feeling more like the past merging with the future, in the sense of, in the past, you were feeling like you were challenged and you had to put in a lot of work to bring forth new beginnings, this push forward, this like, you know, grinding against the grain in order to make what it is that you want to come into fruition, to move, right? And a lot of that has to do with the stagnancy and the complacency that you've had in the past. And I'm not saying that you were complacent, but things around you were not moving the way that you wanted them to. And you really want to have action, which explains a lot about this impulsive kind of just, let's just do it, let's just go with it kind of energy that you have going on, and not really paying attention or even caring if it's the right direction or if it's the right decision. Is all that you know is you're willing to put in the work if with any action that you take moving forward. So if it means you're going to start this new business, you're just going to do it. You're going to do it, and you're just going to put your passion behind it, and whatever it is that you need to do, if you have to work overtime to back it up, that's just what you're going to do. And you have all of these people who want to work with you. You are in this new phase of your life, this new fresh energy, and so it's backing you up in terms of this confidence. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that you felt stagnant in the past. You've had to wait a lot in the past. But then your biggest fear going on with this Queen of Swords is you're afraid that you're making impulsive decisions that are not actually practical, that you are creating a lot of things and they're not necessarily the most decisive or discerning ideas, and it's a little worrisome to you, as if someone's going to smack you with a no, or if the red tape is going to smear itself across your lips and say, you broke this rule, or you went a little bit too far and it's not working anymore. Or, you know, this is a part of the thing that's scaring you, because you're navigating with this impulsive behavior that you usually don't go with. With your advice, we've got Dream a Beautiful Dream with What Do You Feel? It's interesting because these cards I always read upright, but the Dream a Beautiful Dream actually for some strange reason came out upside down, which I thought was quite interesting. But of course I redirected it, but I wanted to mention it. And it's interesting because right underneath it we have the What Do You Feel? And so it goes back to this space of, okay, you want to create the reality that it is that you want to create. And I think that that upside down was not by mistake. It's almost as if though it's saying to you how it is that you can create this reality that you want if you are not aware of what it is that you want. You're having to really think about what it is that you want. That's your advice. I wouldn't say that it's saying to slow down. I think it's just saying to question yourself a little bit. If you're moving in various directions and you don't exactly know what it is that you want, then what it is that you try to create can end up kind of blowing up in your face a little bit. Let's go here to the healing points. I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like I have to read Bastet first. And Bastet is an earth card for me. It's the earth element. You've been moving so fast for so long that you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwind now to drop into a deeper, slower healing rhythm, and you will restore your body, mind, and soul. Things which seem too difficult right now shall soon seem manageable and even pleasurable to you. That's why. Yeah. Because it goes back to this space of I'm moving really, really quickly because I do not want to feel stagnant and I do not want to feel stuck, and I don't want to be in the Seven of Wands energy anymore where I feel like I'm competing and I feel like I have to drag myself through the mud and everything is so hard and so difficult. I'm so tired. And so it's like I'm moving really, really quickly and I'm, wanting all this progress and wanting all this progressive movement. But then you're moving so fast, you don't even know what it is that you're creating. You have to slow down and ask yourself what it is that you feel. So I take that back. It is asking you to slow down and reevaluate what it is that you're feeling. This wound up energy, because a lot of this page energy is coming from you moving with fear in a sense. You know where you've been and you don't want to be there. So you're putting all your energy and this Aries energy, this fire, into creating something new so that you don't feel stuck. But a part of that is creating this wound up, impulsive, ungrounded kind of energy. Just because you can put in the hard work and the extra days to see it through doesn't mean that you should necessarily do that. But again, this doesn't feel like a major damnation, right? It doesn't feel like it's so intense and it's going to be bogging you down. It just feels like more of a direction, a little bit of a nudge in terms of how to do it better. So the top oracle, this is Aquarius for me. It's an air card for me. Continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Yeah, it goes back to the same space. Without forcing things to move more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go whilst the mind is still holding on. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push it forward prematurely. Things are going to work out, be positive. So we bring back to the same space of needing to calm down a little bit. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we have the Hangman. And at the bottom of the advice deck, we have softly, softly, the tender touch. And so it's interesting how these two things are coming into fruition, because the Hangman is all about having to let go. Relax into your own energy. But I'm going to ask for advice in specific when it comes to this, because it's clearly saying, you've got this like fast movement, like I'm the page and I'm getting out of this space and I'm going to create something new and I'm going to do this and I have all this momentum and I have all this fire and I don't care and I have the power to back it up. But it's at the same time it can work against you, because you can be leading yourself on a path that you shouldn't actually be taking, just because you know that you can deal with it. And you're afraid. Your fears here are this red tape, and this fear is here for a reason. You don't want to put yourself in a position where the Queen of Swords has to, strike you with her sword. Hold on. But it's good because, like I said, there's a lot of forward movement. You are in this birth through fire. You are getting all of these calls back, whether it be your jobs, whether it be clients, customers. There is a lot of progression. I'm sorry for the noise. And so it's working definitely in your favor for sure. But you just need to slow down a little bit. Let's get advice here. Wow, okay, and the Hangman found us again. So we go back into the Hangman. Let's see if we can get more advice. The Ten of Cups. So the Hangman here with the Ten of Cups, and I saw at the bottom of the deck the Emperor. So it goes back to this space of, like I said, none of this feels like it's a big opposition. It doesn't feel like you're going to walk into your own destruction, not even close. I think it's just you let go a little bit, let go, let God, calm down a bit, and this is what's going to lead you into your Ten of Cups energy. Except that it's not necessarily the time for the Ten of Pentacles. It's not necessarily the time to build everything right now in this moment. Move with the flow, go with the flow a little bit, relax a little bit, relax your energy a bit, and that's what's actually going to bring you into a much happier, more blissful state. Instead of it feeling so much like, I need to do this and I need to do everything right now and build everything right now and everything, you know, it's calming down a little bit, and that way you won't run into any obstacles or oppositions that you're afraid of. You won't be stuck. This is not the worry here. But most importantly, you won't run into someone putting a stop to your momentum if you go about things the wrong way. And I can't go back, I can't help but go back to this softly, softly, the tender touch at the bottom of the advice deck. It's like, you know, kind of calming down a little bit. What is it that you actually feel? Go about things in a little bit of a smoother, slower manner. And this will bring you the bliss that you want, this Ten of Cups energy, being able to really see through what it is that you want. You're going to end the month feeling happier and content. It doesn't have to be perfect in order for it to be moving or in order for it to be progressive. And yes, a lot of things are happening, a lot of movement and I guess passion and power when it comes to things with your career. But when you let go a lot more than you force forward, it's going to be, like we said, it's going to lead you to the Ten of Cups. Most importantly, it goes back to teaching you how to release all of that control and that overworking energy. Because remember, you've been in a space of fatigue already. So you don't need to do so much just to get to where it is that you want to go. It's half do, half relax into it. Focus on how it is that you actually feel in order to dream the dream that you actually want, in order to have the reality that you're looking for. Slow down. It's okay to have the Ten of Cups instead of the Ten of Pentacles. Right now, this will actually bring you the satisfaction that you truly are looking for, than searching for all of the perfection that you need. And again, like I said, we see the Empress here at the bottom of the deck, and it goes back to that same abundant energy. What does it mean to feel that abundance? And for you, that abundance comes from you letting go a bit, easing off, and just allowing happiness to find you more than perfection, or overdoing it in terms of progression. So yeah, this feels good. I like this energy. I like it a lot. It feels nice. It feels fun, exciting. So that was your career and finances reading. I love you. Ciao.